Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Massive Podcast. We've got a special guest with us today, the Strabanimal and sensation MMA fighter, all the way from Strabane too, we're proud to say, James Gallagher. Also have Niall Cook, sorry. So a former MMA fighter, a current MMA fighter, and Niall.
He does jiu-jitsu because he wants to fight him.
I'm the only person on here who hasn't boxed from me.
That's what we were saying, but it's like it's easier to do. It's definitely not as stressful going into a jiu-jitsu fight than it is going into an MMA fight.
100%, especially because I think it is. When you get pinned down, someone can just elbow you in the head.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? It's not even fighting someone or anything. It's more getting pinned down and someone going.
I was lucky enough that I did that Pro B or something where you didn't.
There's no elbows.
Aye, great.
I've never been elbowed. So
Have you not?
No, I've never been elbowed. But there's one time where I was fighting down in Derry in what's the
Millennium Forum?
No, the
Chaos?
Chaos, but no, in the
hotel.
It's in the down the Brandywell.
That's right. The big sports complex.
The sports hall. I was fighting
floating
Decky McAleenan, but I remember I got on top of him. It was the first time I ever properly elbowed someone. And when I did it, I was like, "Oh fuck!" I could feel it, just know what I mean. I was like, "Oh, that." I've never
It's like punching, but it doesn't hurt your hand.
No, but it's like the pain. You just know that it's not like when you hit someone clean and you know that that hurt. But when you elbow someone, it hurts. It's like a different. I felt almost bad. You know what I mean?
They're like knives. Was that night the knockout of the night was by your dad?
That was a different.
Do you know what?
That was
I have so much anxiety about thinking about that night.
Which one?
The night that he was injured
on
crutches. Some guy from Derry walked into the middle of a lion's den and thought he could punch a fucking lion.
And all the family and friends there as well.
I know.
Man, he was surrounded. I seen people jumping over chairs, and
Do you know what?
I seen someone falling over a chair.
I was actually judging that night.
That's right.
It was the Doms McConnell fighting one of the SVG.
Steve Owen.
And whenever I was judging, Doms was winning the fight, but all the head of the town ones were all up at the cage going, "Rah!" And I was up saying, "Boys, they're going to disqualify everything. They're going to cut. They was going to miss as one over the head, and it was that close."
He was they just stepped into the cage. It all started with me and this fella, and then when he was fighting, then all the Strabane started fighting like fuck.
Do you know what the maddest part of that whole night was? I was standing, and he must have bumped into your mum.
No. So this is what it's because I was standing there. Remember that line? So there's a line of a few people and they wanted pictures of me or whatever. So I was on my crutches and I was getting pictures with everyone and whatever. And then he came up to me and he had his two kids with him. One of them was 17 and he just fought, but he got beat. So now I was talking to him. I was like, "Oh, I remember the last time I got beat and all this here." Do you know what I mean? I was like, "Keep it
You're
with
giving
you."
him
Give him a bit of advice. I mean, don't worry about it, but keep that feeling. Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, I remember my last loss and all this stuff. So got a picture of him. Then got a picture with the other younger fella. And then the dad goes, "Fight someone fucking decent." And I thought he was kind of just no fucking around. You know what I mean? Whatever. I wanted a picture, so I was like, whatever. Sure, I'll fight you. So he stepped back around and kind of pushed me a bit and goes, "Fight someone fucking decent." I was like, "You need to get the fuck out of my face or I'll knock you out."
Was he drinking?
He was fucking off his head too.
He didn't get a dink, no.
No. But then whatever way it happened, I kind of fired me crutches. So it is because he was coming at me. Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of trying to stop it. So as the cunt came at me and I fucking turned around. I just seen this big fist. Your man was coming straight for me because he was making a go at me. So he was trying to hit me. And I was stuck because I was on one leg then because I fired my crutches and I couldn't stop.
And also, you're a professional fighter. You can't be fucking injured or more.
But that was over by the wall. It went out in the middle of the hall, and all I remember is your dad had your man by one arm by the scruff of the fucking neck, and your mother was just behind, and he just turned around casually and said to your mother, "Are you alright?" And she was like, "I am fine." She said, "Are you sure?" And he turned around and he went,
"Just Strabane special, just here you go, you cunty." That's been a couple. I remember the time whenever we were in the Everglades too, and Doms was fighting Big Ward. Emergency Ward. Like Liam Ward. I was fighting him as emergency ward. It was fucking cracker. But he beat they were at each other for fucking weeks up there. Remember back and
that's
forth through
right.
Bebo? Not right.
I remember you two on, right?
But Dom's really got choked him. That's what it was. And then I got up and couldn't take it and stuck ahead and Dom's. And then it was fucking on the ring. Strabane again.
That was mad, wasn't it? That was some nice crack.
The song about Strabane, and we even see it in the comedy, that we're the best audiences. And then the best support too when you get them in a room like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whenever you were fighting in Derry and all there, I was fighting.
You want to
too.
see that Gibson Hotel after my fights in Dublin?
Oh,
It's
fuck.
full of strap. I remember going walking back, and even though walking to the room, no into the when you go up, no into the second floor, whatever, and you're walking in the corridor, you'd be like, "There's my bastards," and you can hear all the voices in different groups.
You hear the voice straight away,
It's
yeah.
fucking brilliant.
Fuck
I was
it.
leaving the last time I had my last fight up. I had to leave at like I think it was 4:30 in the morning. I had to catch flight back
You
to
were going right
America.
away. That's right,
And I remember walking past all the rooms, you could tell everyone the which room was on the noise.
Me and
of it.
Connor went down. Who's driving? I'm Connor made a drive. Your brother. Me, Connor, and who else went down that fight? But we just left straight after your fight. Connor's in bad tune. Didn't want to watch last fight.
Yeah, I
so
stayed,
I
but-
said, you know what? We're probably good to get it. But you're right. Every time we went for a smoke or something, it was just a wee circle of Strabane ones there and there.
I remember
cool.
standing in Gibson one night about 5 in the morning. You just seen a load of people come out of this door, go scuttle across, and then on down, and then on down the hall. Just seen all.
Because as well, there's a big glass part you can see to the far side of the corner. You see that? That's brilliant, isn't it?
I was always the whore that had the rec room. I wasn't smart enough to go stay out of my own room and party in all the other rooms. Then the next day, and you're getting the bill.
You're stuck in a noise complaint for
everything.
smoking bill. Some can't line up a fag in your room.
Bars in the bare bellies.
Yeah, she's Stealing ice, stealing ice buckets. Give your man.
I know James all your life, more or less. But we were trying to get you a couple of times on the pod, because we're doing this for going on 2.5 years. But we ended up going for pints instead. And you're like,
We went over to see you in London too, hey, and that got fucking hairy as well. Do you remember coming back
that's
to that
good, Craig.
fucking hotel room? Jeez.
Oh, we're in the big bus. Were you in the big bus?
No.
No, we're not in the big bus. We put. No, we.
You landed in the middle. You landed like 7 in the morning. Me and Mulsey had to get at 8 o'clock, and you landed just before.
I had to leave after as soon as he
As
landed.
soon as he landed, 7 in the morning, like we had to go. We were leaving straight from the party. You offered to pay for my flights. No, you just stay, man. I'll pay for your flights. I'm like,
Oh fuck!
I'd have been,
Oh, Connor, I did it with Connor. So he stayed.
did you?
We had a chauffeur and all planned in the next day, and all it was great to come
Class.
pick us up from the hotel.
oh, London was hairy. Hey, that's why. Why was this one not in Dublin?
With the fight,
The Higo fight.
there's a lot of stuff going on, Bellator and all. I don't know what they're trying to do, so it is. But hopefully the next one's there in September.
How long do you think you're actually going to be? Now, just to bring it back.
Can we go right back? But
Well, that's how I did when I started. I actually had wrote a few stuff because I know you actually get a lot of hate online, but I think a lot of people don't actually know your background.
They
Like,
don't.
like when you started, like going, like I think a lot of Strabane people always know that how when you started so young and go back to Dublin and how long you've been in Dublin. So, do you want to give us a wee bit of background?
you seen me bit too. I do a wee bit on my stand up about James. About people saying about your accent and stuff like that. And I says, fuckers don't understand this. Young man went down to Dublin at 15 years of age and stayed with the best fighters in the world. Trained with the
I'd say
best
that's not
coaches.
even it though. I'd say it's more as young travelling.
That's
Maybe
it.
Iceland and stuff. I guess I spent a total of like 2 years in Iceland, so I didn't know, like, not consecutively, but when I counted up when I was younger, I would have went for like 10 weeks at a time or whatever. But you were there so long, do you know what I mean? That
You know, Strabane accent doesn't travel.
but you're speaking to people, right? And then you would say something, you'd be like, oh, well, here, what's happening? They're like, what?
That's
And you're like,
100%.
sorry, how was your day today?
Man, that's 100%. See, even doing the stand up, if I go to Dublin or Belfast, I have to genuinely slow down
Slow
and
down,
pronounce your fucking
But why did
words.
you start? Why did you start MMA?
I don't know why I started. I think I just always loved fighting, and then
Would you have fought like in school and stuff?
Oh, all
You're
the time.
karate.
All the time. So
Karate
then
too,
me
you
dad-
did, didn't you?
Oh, I did karate as well
Sure
for a
can.
while, and then I'd have been fighting at school and all, and then they kind of, my dad kept dragging me down to their house, and they apologised. So I'd have been fighting at school, and then I'd be going home like, who we fighting with? All right, down to his house, say sorry, shake his hand.
And it's mad because you only did it because of the fun of it.
I didn't.
There's
I
no
wasn't
badness in it.
No, I
No,
just
no, but
loved fighting. Do you know what I mean?
you
It was just a
enjoyed
bit
it.
of crack. Do you know what I mean? Bit of a
know.
Do you know what? One thing I've always said, what's it like being young and being like a skilled martial artist? Like, you must give you so much confidence. Like,
100%. But I feel like it's
would you
kinda-
fight less then because you feel
Oh, wow! You've nothing to prove. do you
Oh,
know
you're
what I
like
mean?
the silent
And,
boy in the bar. Nobody touches.
and it's just
He
you-
knows his shit.
And not only that, you know what you can like actually
Aye.
do. You know what I mean? It's not like if you, because then once I did learn and you know what I mean, if people have tried to fight with me, and
Right.
you would hit them. Do you know what I mean? After a few years not hitting some in the street, and it's like it's different.
You feel dirty.
Oh,
we
it's
were even
fucking
talking.
just one shot, and it's like they're
See,
just
even a good
gone.
blue belt would beat any man that doesn't know any grappling.
that's
And it's while it's so obvious after a while when you do jiu-jitsu.
Hey.
Even when I left, even at the basics I know, for somebody that doesn't know it, I have so much an advantage.
100%.
Because I just don't know it. At one stage you think you're winning.
You're comfortable
Aye.
doing it. Do you know
You're
what I mean?
just
It's where they
comfortable,
like
it's
are
so
not
easy.
comfortable. Do you know
And
what I
they're
mean?
all thinking, I'm getting here now and doing well, got a good headlock and a queer headlock, I've got him in here. Right?
The size of them as well, that they can't just grab someone and headlock them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, nah.
It's like the A-team when you just throw boys away. No, that doesn't happen anymore. Like.
So what was the actual timeline? Where did you actually start? Where did you start first?
I started on my 12th birthday, so I did up when Fountainstry. So I did with John Curry, Connor Cassidy, and Dom O'Connell.
Your band fight team?
Strabane fight team. So it was
Bob?
Bob
was
there,
involved
did
there
judo
too,
and
yeah.
all with Bob as well. So I did. So that's where I started, and then I was always fancied myself. Do you know what I mean? As I could fight, and I thought I got strangled.
But you started at 12. But I seen you fighting an 18-year-old man at 13.
Uh,
1 year. Them boys shouldn't have been put in that fucking quick.
nah, I shouldn't. I
But
shouldn't have.
you insisted on it, didn't you?
All the time. So it is. I was
You're
training
like, you
about 5
wanted 'em.
months. I think I did my first jiu-jitsu competition about 5-6 months in, and then I competed against them like Alan Philpott and all.
You had the hair dyed yellow and all.
So,
But you were only a kid.
I was 13. I was
Jesus
13.
Christ.
So it wasn't in. So I just went from there, and then I got like so much like. It was kind of more that I was so young and I could go and beat a man. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
That was kind of my ego.
That was and that's what I always say about Strabane. See, Strabane has a wild fucking catalogue of people that were brilliant at something, and then the ego set in, and then they start drinking with the lads, and then you wake up one day and you're 25. It's too late. What you were brilliant at, and this is something that young people should listen to, and it's well important, is that you realise you have to put the work in now. Like that's a mindset that a wild lot of people don't have.
It's because they don't see the far. It's so
Aye.
hard to see the end goal. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's kind of like you can't really have an end goal. Do you know what I mean? And that's the part that's like kind of
It's a lifestyle.
It's just a lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of sometimes it's going to be great and sometimes it's going to be wrong. And then what a lot of people do is kind of like you'll see boys and they'll get injured or something, and you'll go out drinking with the boys and stuff, and that's all right. But they don't get off that cycle.
Aye.
That's
You can have a wee, you can have a beer after a one.
Oh, do you know what I
Celebrate,
mean?
but then
You have to,
2 days later-
celebrate, but you can't like people with it's just like extreme. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to stick to there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. There's nothing wrong with doing whatever once in a while, but it's kind of getting back off that cycle and kind of being around people that if you are off the cycle, they'll be go here, get the fuck back.
Our Kieran was a great example. That Kieran was doing the kickboxing in America, flat out winning them, and he came back, and he won a title or something over there, and it was before mobile phones. And when he came back, I said this before, but he went back in the drink with the lads and was a hero because he was a kickboxer. The trainer sent the thing over to the Chronicle. Could Kieran Boyle contact us? And that was unheard of. You know what I mean? It was on the Strabane. And we read it and all that. You're a legend. And then closed the paper. That's where motivation there. I mean, this is what I could have been. You can still be it. Fucking hell, we didn't, but you just made the decision then to go. So you.
Did it come easy to you?
No, it's the hardest thing ever. I wouldn't advise like.
Do you know, like sometimes people are like pick it up quicker, it becomes natural to them. Did you have to work?
Oh, why? I saw it. It's all I did. So I did. So I'd have been like up before school in the morning, going running at 6:30, trying to if I could skip class at school, go down to the gym and stuff. PE teacher, Mr. Boyle, and that they would have let me batter away in the gym, so they would have. Do you know what I mean? So I would have been doing that. Then straight after school, then I would have been going down to Derry to train. Do you know what I mean? Getting it in, and then I would have been going to Dublin twice a week as well. Do you know what I mean?
Started where did you start going to Dublin?
I think it was about 14. So I did. So
That was not down to John. Because I remember we all went to Warren Point, I think it was.
that's the time I met John. That's the first time.
And me, you, and Kieran and Dennis. Big Dennis
Big
fought
Dennis,
that night too.
that's right.
And Dennis, we Dennis.
Why did John
told-
Kavanagh not pick you on?
I was in the corner at the time. Because it was fucking 38. but I remember Dennis had to cut weight. The fight, your man's ripped now, he's a heavyweight. He fights for the IFA, I think. Big fella. Sound man too, but he got under the ring, sir, and the size of him is like 3 times big. I said, there's no way he cut weight, right? Nobody on about cut weight. You got made Dennis get down to 16, your man was about 22. But we were training, warming up in a hall.
That's right, I remember.
Like, you know, a corridor, a fucking hotel, hitting pads, because nobody give us anywhere they warm up. And you were 13.
Yeah, 13. I was
Flat 18-year-olds. Battered him.
I think that fella was 22, 23. So
It was like mad.
That's why I met John. He was judging. And then
Right.
he wouldn't judge the fight. He was like,
Right.
this is going to ruin MMA in Ireland. So then I went out and fucking had a ding dong with your man. So then ended up beating him.
Aye.
So then John was like, come down and train with me, but don't
Isn't this when he says no MMA for a while?
but I didn't listen as usual.
But did you not? That's when you started going to world finals and all in the jiu-jitsu.
So then, I was 14 then, so it was about 15 going 16, I went over there, so I didn't listen to
Did you?
Nah. So I kept going down to train twice a week, but I was still at school here,
Aye.
do you know what I mean? So I'd have been taking days off school to go down and train and do that stuff, do you know what I mean? So I was getting flack from school. And all
Taking
that
the odd fight as well.
so I'd been fighting all the time.
And what John say about that? Was he trying? Come on.
It was kind of trying to do that, and I was kind of just going down a bit, but then once I quit school, then I was 15, I think, when I quit school, it was like, no fighting, if you're going to, you can live with me.
He's looking at the long picture, like, you know what I mean?
And
Did
he's
you
right.
live in his house?
So it is. So I lived in John. He had an apartment in Dublin, so I moved in with him. Then I was 15. So how it worked is he used to let me stay, kind of, know, like when I got off school and holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
Then one time I just quit school, and I was going down. And we were walking back from the gym, and I was just telling him, I was like, I quit school, and he was like, what do you mean you quit school?
You just stopped educating yourself?
I was like, so you're going to go to college, or are you going to do something, or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to train.
Aye.
I guess here, and I just kind of, I was like, is it cool to stay Monday to Friday? And he was like, I guess so. So then I just stayed Monday to Friday, and then the next week, it's like, is it cool to come down Monday to Friday? And then before the end up, I just lived.
That's you must have. Did you have imposter syndrome? Do you know where you felt that there's a thing where you like sometimes that you get it where you're in a gym and you're staying with John Kavanagh and you're seeing fucking legends in the gym training? No,
Well, no one was sure.
I suppose
Nobody was famous at that time.
We were all fighting on the same show. So me, Gunny, Connor,
Right.
we were all fighting on the one show.
I remember I fought in 2 shows. McGregor fought in 2,
right.
but you knew the level McGregor was at, didn't you?
Oh, why? We all knew that. Do you know
Aye.
what I mean? But we
You didn't envisage him being like 2-time world champion.
No, but the thing was about it is in that gym at that time, and it was, everyone would have been saying, oh, they're so cocky and all this. When you walked in there, everyone was the best. Like they were the best.
Aye.
It wasn't like we're going to get to the UFC.
Yeah.
And it was in a way, but it wasn't that. It was just, we're the best and we just do this.
So see, when we're outside looking in, it just looks surreal because you were going to Iceland, you were meeting Mike Tyson and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then there was training, and I'm going, I know how's but you're right, because you were that tunnel vision with the fighting and the training, and they're all your mates. Did you forget about what we all see? And that's how you probably get good.
And then you forget about it, but then it's hard, you know what I mean? You see some people and they look at you different. You're like,
Aye.
I'm not different, do you know what I mean?
But
Well,
thought
I do think I'm better than I'm an arrogant cunt, do you know what I mean? And I do think, and that's the belief that I need.
I think you have to do that.
I have to, do you know what I mean? And that's because of the way it is because
I want to be 5th best in the world.
no, but I deserve to say that for the struggle of what I did.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? I went through that. Like,
Yep.
I put in that work.
Aye.
Do
What
know
age are you
I mean?
now?
26.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? But I've worked for all this, so I deserve
That's
to
10
be-
years straight.
Do you know what I mean?
Fucking right.
So that's
Man,
that's
you've been
why
flying, and right? Do you know what I mean? And it's mad just getting down to who's the best in the world.
That's where it's
You
at,
know,
man, do you know what I mean?
when
No,
you're down to
and
who's the
they're
best in the world,
just
And you can't really be like, do you think you're good? And you're like, yeah,
well, just one of the best in the world.
when you're getting on to get punched in the face, like,
I think
Aye.
I'm better than them all. Do you know what I mean?
Aye,
And that's not like a more like, oh, I'm going to fuck these guys up. There is people that are like, you know, you can go in and you can beat against them or whatever, and you can have those nights, and there's
That's
people
it.
that can beat you. But
That's what
I
it is.
genuinely believe that I could prove that I'm better than all these guys, and that's why.
And you're still young.
I'm still young.
Young
And that's,
veteran.
That's why. That's
A young vet.
But it's kind of, you just don't believe that because you're cocky and you believe it.
Aye.
I believe that because I've put in 10 years of solid work. I believe that because I can see that I've done more
Aye.
than most people.
Even in training, I'd say when you're grappling with certain people and sparring with certain people, and you know the level,
Aye,
you just
it's
know.
big time. You can just feel it. You know. What I
and
mean?
then having the heart behind that, and then as we always say, like even when you were doing jiu-jitsu and the Millennium, when there was about 8 people there, you shit yourself, didn't you?
It was 16. You
16.
fucking
16 or 17 people.
It was the early
It
card.
came out. It was the early card. It was before everybody knew it was opened. But you feeling nerve? You were nervous.
Oh, fuck. 100%.
So you coming out? Do you know what I mean? And you know that the fucking world's looking at you.
What's it like to walk out there?
And you look so cool.
Headline show and Ireland on the home soil. Like, I've been there, like, and the place has been fucking rocking.
There's no noise like it.
No, it's different, isn't it?
It's different,
fucking
gravy.
something else. It's not like, see that part, like I'm not that nervous, so I'm not like I feel like
The work's done.
The work's done, but you see about 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out, I'd be nervous then because I'm not sure if I'm working hard enough. That's always the
Self-doubt
problem.
creeps on me a bit.
It's not self-doubt, it's more that
Am I doing enough?
am I doing enough? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? And that's
Do you ever think about what he's doing or just yourself?
I don't give a fuck what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not.
See the
it's not
science
that-
behind training. Then they tell you to rest and all that. There's days you have to rest.
Oh, wow.
Where before the old days it was like Rocky
It's
for fucking.
mad. It's not even so much more rest. It's easy training.
Aye.
Do you know how hard it is to train easy? Do you know what I mean? Like, that can be like
Technical.
a technical drilling. Then if you're doing like kind of lightweight stuff, they fucking walk.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? People don't understand that sitting in the house is not good, but it's like
There's times
it's
you have
not.
to.
It's not it's not. That's not rest. That's going to walk.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Going fishing's a
Yeah.
rest. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Going hunting or something up the fields, a walk or something. That's rest. Do you
You
know
love
what I mean?
fishing and hunting too.
Oh,
do you?
wow.
You're a proper.
Got
Joe
that dog
Rogan
inside me, got that dog.
Listen to Joe Rogan all the time. Fucking hunting. Do you play pool?
But
Yeah, the full circle.
but and I got one in the apartment, so I do pool table in the apartment. So
Did
it is
you?
actually
Class.
So, well, it's like when you stand, you always do the one where you turn around, the 2 hands in the air before you're on the cage. That must be some balls.
it's the best. It is, especially the what I do every time is when I walk into the cage, I'll go around, but I'll walk directly up at him and just look him up and down and just put my hand
And
up,
yeah, he's just
look at him like that, just like, and it's kind of like we've signed the fight. He's trying to
Aye.
kill me.
right.
Do you know what I mean? And that's not to try and say like that's just going. Let's go.
This
Do
is
you know
the
what
most
I mean?
important fight of your life there and then,
There
because
and
this
then.
is this.
Nothing else matters at that point. What I say, what I do, you know what I mean? Is I gotta back that up. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not thinking about backing up. I'm just thinking about beating as well. Do you know what I mean? I've nothing to prove to anyone. I'm just going
Yeah.
to get him out of there.
There
'cause
is
he's
a
gonna get me
natural
out.
pressure on the whole thing, but people
Oh,
relying
of
on you, money, status, or not even status, but the rankings and all that there. So that's massive.
How much do you assess fights after?
A lot. So I do a lot. Especially, it's just more like what I do. Do you know what I mean? There's like fights there, and I'll just watch like one like little guard pass or something. I'll do it 15 times because some
Right.
stuff you do and you don't really realize you're doing it knowing the fight, and you might do it different from how you do it in training because you're under pressure. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Is like you can train all you want, you can do all this stuff, but can you do it correctly
Under
extreme pressure?
severe, like if you're brilliant at nothing, but if
Yeah.
you get up in front of 1,000 people and nuts,
So, but then it's not like that. So then it's the key is like, all right. So say for example, I'm on his back. You know what I mean? I'm trying to choke him. So if you lose that position, I'm on my back now. I'm on bottom.
Yeah.
He's on top of me, looking to kill me.
Aye.
And if someone defends a position like that, they're usually going to try and make you pay. So being able to be calm, being able to just focus on that, not matter. There's fucking 12,000 people cheering. Do you know what I mean? All that correct. To be able to just be calm and control your mind. To be going like, none of this helps me. The
Yeah.
only thing that's helping
Yeah.
me now is to break him down, feel the position, and make him nervous and scared. Do you know what I mean?
there's
he's
an intelligence behind all this.
100%. Do you know what I mean?
But
he's
see, whenever you
terrified.
used to fight for about 8 fights in a row, it was just once you got a hold of somebody, that was it.
That was it done.
Do you remember? It was just, oh, James got him now, that's it.
Been
And
there.
Aye, the receiving end.
I know, I felt it. It's fucking.
Aye, but it was just like a couple, you just get in and then that was it.
It's just applying pressure, making them panic. Do you know what I mean? Staying calm by applying it.
Just wasn't an
Dude, see that chaos you're on about? Fucking Cal Pacino fights on it.
Aye.
Fucking size of that her.
It's huge.
Jesus, how the fuck did he cut your weight? Unreal.
He made that weight. I was very lucky to make that weight that time for that fight. So I wasn't a bad way. So I think I did 15 pounds in one night.
He must have been too, but
Jesus.
No, he made it before me. He made it easy. But what happened was then I cut some, and then I got like a internal cramps in my stomach. So I cut about 8 pound that night. Then I like had a bite of a watermelon, and I have a nutritionist and all there. Do you know what I mean? They have all the medic stuff and all this stuff. So I'm being monitored. So I'm like safe, do you know? But safe as can be.
safe
So
as still doing something dangerous.
When they started getting the cramps, I'd have been lying and I could see my stomach muscles. I'm so skinny and lean that I can see the muscles all moving on my stomach. And I'm like, oh, fucking breathe, you know what I mean? It's like it's here. So it is. So I get on the phone to him. It's about 4 a.m. So they come over, strap me all up in blood pressure and all this crack. Then they're like, oh, you gotta rehydrate a bit. They stop this. Do you know what I mean? Because you're still so far from the way, and you can't keep going. Do you know what I mean? We gotta settle this. So I think I put on, like, was it 4 or 8 pounds? 4. So I put on an extra 4 pounds again. So that's after cutting 8. Put on 4, and had to cut the rest, which was like 9 or something like that.
What?
So it is. So I was in a bad way for it. So it was hard, but he was fresh on the scale. But I felt good in the fight.
You usually would be close enough to your fighting weight now, don't you? You're walking around, or
No,
do you
so
not?
it is. No. I'm fucking. Today is 75 kilo. Fight at 61 kilo. So it is, but I'm probably going to move up soon.
But
I remember
there's
you-
boys
I-
that go like 3-4 stone over there, you know, with the, and it's a fucking disaster.
I remember you telling me one time about people giving you fucking shite because anytime they see you lifting weights at the gym, you're like, oh, fucking, is that all you're lifting? But you were like, you have to be so careful what weight you lift because you can't put on muscle.
So it is. It's like a nightmare. Do you know what I mean? So, but now I'm going to try and put on a bit, and I think I'm going to move up the featherweight. So I'm.
Is that an exclusive? Can we put that?
You've heard it here in the Big Massive Podcast.
Is the cutting always?
Yeah, it's brutal. So it is. You just feel like, do you know what I mean? I get down the night before the weigh-ins. I'm usually about 150 pounds, 149, 150. So that's 15 pounds in one night. You know what
I skip supper one evening. I'm like, oh.
And that's after a 12 week of a hard calorie deficit. Do you know what I mean? Like and literally like from the milk you're putting in your coffee. Do you know what I mean? So from
I remember cutting weight. This is the same with the water load. You had to drink like pints,
wow,
liters and liters and liters, and then it for 2 days, and it just comes out of you, and then you're fucking
So I do that, and then I still
step
have
out of your fat suit.
I do that, and then still 15 pounds to go in at the end.
Jesus.
So it is, and then it's kind of like it's different because people who say are like 80 kilo going to 70 kilo, that's a less of a percentage of their body weight than it is for me going from 75 to 61. Do you know what I mean?
So the smaller you get to the fucking.
But that's like that's like 5. I don't know the figures, but say it's like 5% of their body weight, then it's 10% of my body weight.
Jesus.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
That's a fight in itself.
it's
And it's a mental fuck too, because you're just
And do you know
sitting
what?
there going,
And add on that, can you speak to a wee bit about like a lot of people probably won't understand this, and I think it's only the fight game. The losses hurt more probably than any other sport.
it's more like everything you do in it. Do you know what I mean? If you're in a team, it's like if you're in a team sport. Do you know what I mean? And you have a bad day, your team can carry you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you lost, you
Yeah.
lost with your team. You
Yeah.
don't lost. Your team lost. Do you know what I mean? If I win a fight, if I win, I win. If I go in there and I beat, I lose. It's my fault. It's my control. And so it's kind of like it just means so much to these certain
And
people.
your fight camp's so hard for so long, and there's so many people involved, and like you can move your head the wrong way and be knocked out.
just like a blink.
MMA especially, because see boxing, if you'd have lost 4 fights, you were out. MMA is completely different, so there's many variables. But I remember even fighting, and there was nothing about it. But losing, fucking, you went home and you felt every kick.
Hey.
And then and nobody texts you. Not one cunt would fucking text you. Hey. Nobody, and you get the odd. Sorry to hear, but nothing. It just goes
But so-
fucking.
so
but
this-
see when you won.
But that's the
Jesus.
thing as well. It's kind of like
The glory.
about how to be like how to get to the top. Is that you can't celebrate too much on your wins and you can't dwell too much on your losses, because if you get a big win and you're too busy celebrating, that game's moved on. By the time you're back done celebrating, that's the them wheels are
And
still
it's always your
rolling.
next fight. It's never your last
It's never
one.
the last, and
The
that's
last
why.
done. It's in the bag.
And that's why it's kind of like a lot of people, a lot of fighters and all, they kind of like at the end up as, they all get fucked up or whatever. But it's kind of like, for me, it's this journey of trying to prove that I'm the best. That's
and,
it.
and you're loving the lifestyle.
That's what I mean. But it's kind of like that. I started just training. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
I never had nothing, never had money, never had anything. It's just training. That's all I need in life. I don't need
Tyson
fuck
Fury
that.
says the exact same thing for his mental health. He
Now,
says
don't get me wrong. I want all the fucking money, and I want all the belts, and I want
But
all this. But
It's a
I'm,
byproduct,
but
Aye.
I'm good without it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm good, and that's the kind of thing, and that you do forget it sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's kind of
that's
something that I
you
always
wouldn't
try
be passionate if it was money led.
No, but that's the thing you always try to remember yourself is that I'm not like I'm James Gallagher. Do you know what I mean? I'm not James Gallagher the fighter. I'm not James Gallagher the guy who makes fucking money fighting. I'm not the guy that does this. You gotta have your own. Do you know what I mean? So if all that was taken away from me, it's like who am I? Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? And that's the one thing that I always keep to myself, and I always like as a passionate, driven person. Do you know
See,
what I
when
mean?
it comes to fighting, but your personality changes to more an aggressive man.
I'm gonna kill him.
Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people, that's what you were saying at the start, don't know James' personality, and it's probably half it's your craft as well. Do you know what I mean? You know what people want.
Well, it's two different things. Do you know what I mean? And people are like, oh, you're different. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, I know we're chilling down here talking right now.
Aye.
So if I'm in a hotel and doing an interview, my opponent's down there. I don't know if he's going to run up and jump me or whatever.
Aye.
And I know, like, do you know what I mean? And it's kind of so you're always
And that's
just,
fighting talk as well.
that's fighting talk. And for me, it's kind of it's not just, you know what I mean? It's not my sport. This is my
Yeah.
life.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
I don't play this. I don't play this game.
And plus,
Aye.
I think a lot of people don't understand that you have to sell a fight too.
But I don't really give a fuck about.
You don't?
selling, not really.
But that's why it sells.
I'm not there. That's not my job. My
Exactly.
job is to show up, fight, and win.
Aye.
So do
Do you
you
know
have
what I
to get into like a fucking mindset where you're going to like? I suppose you have to get into like you're
Well,
setting out to kill a guy
my
because
ego has proven myself that I want to be the best in the world.
And that's
You know
where
what I mean?
jealousy comes out of. And that's like even where our podcast once takes us saying your pod shite and all. And I said to him, that's how you know we're doing ours.
I know you got you
That's how
always
you
got,
fucking
you
know.
always got a lot of haters. I don't think
But-
don't think it's as bad now.
But you can't.
It's probably bigger. Bigger fault.
That's it. The bigger. That's what I was going to say. See, when you go down and watch the fights down in Dublin, and he comes out, it's fucking.
But you know what? Like I
So
think
it's always a jealous.
it's a
fucker
human
sitting-
being thing. Like I've been there myself. I remember you coming up and being jealous. But you know what stopped the jealous right away? See the first day you put your hands on me, and you're like,
You understand now?
I get it now.
Aye.
But it's an instant thing, right? And this
Everybody
is
has
my
this.
and is this my thing about like being like successful? Is that you see someone, right? You see someone, they're fucking successful, fucking in shape, fucking,
Yeah.
and a lot of people get this because I can fight.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
I
So
just said
they
that.
see something, they're like, so for me, it's kind of like and then just as a man thing or whatever. If you have a fucking ego, we all
That's
have
it.
it. But if you see someone, no, a nice car, fancy clothes, this and that, and for me, it's like, but I'd still punch out of him. Do you know what I mean?
100%
It's where people look at me and I
You're in a
go,
room and you're going, is that right? Whatever happens, I can batter you.
but you know what I mean. So and I get people. So this is why I get people. But people then look at me and I know they look at me, you know, like that there and stuff as well. But they also in the back here going, but I still can't punch it.
Tommy Cannon says that to me. He says, "What's it like when you can?" No, I says when I was back doing the fighting, Tommy worked with me and all. And I says, "You can take all the abuse of the day about being useless at cricket or being useless at pool, because you know you can punch the face of the and you don't mind losing,
mind,
but you wouldn't do that outside, would you? Bring your stick, with you.
Anytime I roll with you or you felt your hands on me, like I knew exactly why you're so successful.
Yeah.
Because you're so fucking good. It's just a byproduct. Success is a byproduct of being good.
But I think too that nobody's seen him getting up and when he's 13 years of age
aye,
before
that's it.
school. No, all these boys with bellies going, how the you know what I mean? And they don't see the work in the background.
But I think it is something that I've always had a good thing of doing is like, if something no like I was always very like emotional and like my wins or my losses, but I could always flip that switch very quick
Aye.
and just like kind of forget about something and move on to the next thing.
That's important that there because that's what a lot of young people can't do. They don't have the mature mindset to do that. And what give you that?
I don't
was
know.
It, was the you as well as the people around you?
I think so. Like, give me like a confidence that I can just really just put all my effort and focus now into it, and it's kind of just a self belief in yourself. It's kind of people always thinking I've traveled a lot, met a lot of people, and all now, and it's kind of like my thoughts. I kind of backed up all my thoughts back then. Do you know what I mean? I kind of go actually when I was 13,
Brilliant.
just. I was a smart, you know what I mean?
Aye.
I was like, and I was never sure if it
That's
was right.
it's a rare thing. 13, 14, like footballers do it. But they're going in the institutions and they've got people around them, and do you know what I mean?
That's the matter. I'd always loved it because I get no media training, no nothing, no advice or like that.
And you were a kid?
I was just a kid, do you know what I mean, doing it all. But it's kind of like, I don't know what it is that give me that kind of switch, but I think it's kind of borderline being humble, being so humble, but having such a big ego.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Well, you need both. So it is, because me is right. I'll walk into a gym or a mat or whatever, and people are training, and I'll walk in there going, "I'm the best in here. There's no one in here can beat me." But you see, if a beginner goes, "Here, look at this move," I'm like this, just looking at it. Like I'm not thinking how he can show me this, because I don't care who show me it. I just want to learn and get better. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm not better than. I feel like I'm the best. I can beat anyone. But I'm no better to learn off anyone or like this.
I think there's somebody else saying, if you could see somebody and you could take something from somebody that doesn't even realise they're showing you.
Exactly.
Well, do you know what? I was listening to Nicky Rod and Craig Jones, and they were asked the exact same question. I said it has to be a balance. The best in the world have to have some sort of ego. Or you won't be the best in the world.
Because you just won't care about losing, or you won't care about being better, or you won't care like this, and you won't care about having good things, you won't care about looking good, you won't care about that.
They said like ego and competition have it all day. He said you kind of need to check your ego a wee bit, or you'll never learn.
In the gym?
In the gym.
You're just too busy competing.
Exactly.
So I can't walk in the gym and go, oh, I have to... Do you know what I mean? I've just fought in Bellator this week, and you know what I mean, main event, sold people out, so I can't train with this kid that's an amateur. Well, see this kid, he's been watching jiu-jitsu videos all day at school. Yeah. He's learned something new.
He's passionate.
He's passionate. So why wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean? As you get older, you know what I mean? You got different distractions and all this. So why, if I'm not around these people, why am I not just sitting and listening to this kid? Because I know he's in it.
And that doesn't just help you, but think what it does for him. And his confidence. But you're growing that club.
But the thing is about it is people go, oh, I'm at this level, so I can't learn. But the younger people are learning the new things. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're learning. I'm not going to go and learn something that I have never seen before now at my level. That I don't believe that. No kind of any like all high level coaches all show me. I'm not saying that in like in a cock way, but I'm not going to see. They'll show me ways to do things, but I'm not going to see a new move. And we show better ways to do what I already kind of know. Yeah. But a little kid that's training 2 weeks is going to show me something that me and all these top guys have never seen before off YouTube. Do you know what I mean? That's where they've learned it, or playing a video game.
That's so good.
And then we go and practice it, and then
that's actually an unbelievable way to look at it.
See, boxing back in the early 90s and the 80s, it was like the ego got out of control. So, you know, if you were no good at boxing the first couple of weeks, you were just the rump in the corner.
And that's why I hated it.
And it was bad, like.
I hated the boxing, going into box clubs like that, you know what I mean?
Weren't they all like that? They were all like, just no. You remember Rocky 3 whenever they went into the black gym with Apollo and they all just stopped? You know, just did sort of like that. You didn't feel welcome unless you showed something straight away. Maybe a bit of heart or something, but there's some people learn a wee bit slower than others.
I learned like that. I learned like very slow.
Just gradual.
Gradual, and I hate like having like a... I always felt when I went to box clubs, it was like a pressure to learn or something. Is where I kind of like, I'm like more of just open. I can't have, and receive someone's like, do this, do that, do this. It's like, that's too much. Like, let me just do one thing. Do you know what I mean? That's just how I learn.
But you know what? One of the best things I'm doing, I think you showed a very good example of it there now, was coach. Listen to you coach and break it down like that, and like how you understand how you can learn from even like white belts because they've watched something that
they're need the cool shit.
Is that your plans after? I know we're talking fairly, but
I don't know. So I was definitely.
Would you like to run a gym?
I don't know if I'd like to. I'd like to run a gym, but I don't know if I'd like to be a coach, because for me, it's like I'm very passionate about everything I do. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know if I could commit to that role, because
if they don't commit like you.
No. For me, because being a coach is like a big role. So it means I'm going to be there. I'm going to be for my like students. I'm going to be there 24/7. Anything they need, because I know what
commitment.
I know what I need. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not in that position to give someone what someone like me needs. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm doing my thing.
I think you'll definitely mature into that, but I think that'll something will come to you.
Definitely, I'd say it will. But do you know what I mean? Because now what I love doing is I love teaching. Yeah. I say I'm not a coach. There's a difference between teaching and being
being a complete coach.
Do you know what I mean? So what I do is love to go and teach a class, teach a seminar or something like that. There, I'm actually going to start doing a few seminars now that I'm back home.
Get on them, folks. I've been there. They're unreal.
So it is. I'm going to start doing that, because I love like teaching classes, but I just don't like the like kind of responsibility of being a coach for someone, or like because I'm too busy working on myself. I'm too selfish.
What's it like coming home?
That's
You're
brilliant.
you're home for a wee while now.
I'm
Back
a
to
home-
Strabane.
I'm a home bird.
Aye, but you're, like there was never any hit in the town.
Nah. Well, you
You
always
always
had
got
it.
to
Aye,
be.
but sure. Do you know what I mean?
Human
That's-
nature, I think,
that's
to be honest.
human nature, do you know what
But
I mean?
in
I've
general, now.
never. They kind of, do you know what I mean? These people who hate me love me as well. So it's.
Aye.
Deep
They see
down-
That's
you.
a very true
deep
thing. That's
down,
all. It's a very true
it
thing.
is, you know what I mean,
Aye.
they hit you on a Friday night and love you on a Saturday.
It's a fucking
what I mean?
strange place.
How long do you think you'll be out?
So I'm back doing rehab now. So I'm back lifting weights and stuff like that. There next week I start like loading on it, and then the week after that, then I'll have some impact kind of training plyometrics.
Is the fight still there, the Hego fight, or does that move on?
The Hego fight's always there, so it is that's there. I feel like that's there. The Brett Jones fight's there, but I just don't know if bantamweight's going to be there for me. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
okay.
I've been a lot out in the way injuries and stuff, so I'm thinking like it cutting down. And I think it's a big
That
factor.
dehydration and all that crack.
It's just constantly calorie deficit
Aye.
all year round. You know
Do
what I mean?
Bellator understand the injury game, or do they start to get a wee bit fucked off?
They
or-
start to get fucked off now, so they have, and then that's the part of the negotiations. You know what I mean? And then that's kind of the part that's like, well, you kind of have to go out and prove yourself again. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Aye.
and that's the kind of part where people drop off. Do you know what I mean? A lot of fighters can't get themselves back.
Aye.
They prove that. You know what I mean? Because I was fucking
Come
climbing
back
up the-
better so you can.
Fucking right, you can.
Right.
And that's especially at my age. Do you know what I mean? And
Aye.
no matter how hard it gets, or no matter how tough, do you know what I mean? You feel like, oh, I have to can't, get back up there, climb back over. It's kind of what I'd rather keep going and do it miserably. And
You'll know your peak.
Aye.
You're not there yet.
Do you know what I
so
mean?
you'll-
But,
there's no point in stopping now.
exactly, and that's
There's
the thing.
questions there because he's just to go in 5
I
months.
know, and there's about 3 million questions. We'll rattle through them. Peter O'Connell used to fight Weege back in the
I
day.
was,
too.
PDC was one of the first he fought. around here.
That's right.
So,
I'd like to know if there was ever a reason that James couldn't fight. What could he see himself doing, like coaching, moving a business, say property, investments? Suppose you've answered a few of them. With property or business and
I
that?
definitely. So I'm going to get into that now. So I'm back in Kansas. That's my next plan. To take
Kraus is
over
a
everything.
big investment guy.
I've got my LLC, Strabane Properties LLC, so it is
There you go.
registered there a few months ago.
Class.
So, but I haven't started nothing in it yet or whatever. Got to build up the fights first. You know what I
Aye.
mean? That's the main focus now. Is kind of because you can do all that stuff well and good, and I kind of realized that especially learning this is the best part about like is training like with Connor and stuff, is they see when you start climbing up in different avenues that you have to the game comes first.
Aye.
It
You can't
doesn't
be
matter
distracted
if this
with-
big deal comes and you have to go, wait, fuck that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now I'm trying to be the best in the world. There's
Yeah.
not, I can
Laser focus just
just
has to
it
be.
has to be
Aye.
laser focused. But also do stuff that you're able, but just don't spread yourself too thin. The game
Aye.
comes first. You know what I'm saying?
How do you relax?
Because it can damage your game if you're away fucking looking
don't
at
relax?
businesses and stuff. Like that.
Nah, nah, I do. Try and just they chill with the family and just
Steam room?
steam room, sauna,
Saunas.
steam room, sauna, that kind of thing. But I find that's the hardest part of the whole.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Do jiu-jitsu.
That wee sport.
Marvin Hank, who would want to fight between him and a tag team of Bats and Big Massive? The Bats.
The bats.
the
Did you see
bats,
Did you see the photo that the bats put up? He's got Rocky pajamas. Did you see? They put a picture of him up in the fighty, and he had the hair wet and all the steady stuff.
Maybe head kicking us.
Matthew Tracy, fair play to James how far he's got in MMA. With success and notoriety come haters or critics. How do you deal with negativity?
You don't. So it is you. I'm too. Do you know what I mean? I'm too high to stoop that low.
It doesn't. She doesn't even register.
It does, but you just don't let it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like
Would
it
have been
does-
harder when you're younger.
No,
No,
probably when I'm older.
Aye.
So it is because
Do you read the comments?
everything. Everything.
You know what happens too? You see like 10 great comments and then the one.
But the thing is about it, I just feel pity those people because I know how I think when I see someone. Do you know what I mean? Be successful, and even if there's people that I look at them and I'll be like, he's a fucking dick,
Aye.
but unreal what he's doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
you have to take your hats off to the.
And you see if someone goes to me like, "Oh, you're a fucking dick," and I'm like, "Yeah," you're probably right.
That's the same with that's true. We say about the
You're
comedy.
right.
If you think I'm funny, you're right. But if you think I'm shite,
You're
you're right.
right.
But see these boys that are talking about you, they haven't a clue who you are.
And
Really?
and they don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Do you know what? They have no idea how they would be if they had a fight in 10 weeks. Like,
They wouldn't fight. Within 10 weeks?
There's a real low percentage.
They wouldn't.
Next question.
Eamon Dunphy, gi or no gi?
Oh, no, gi. But if you want to
That's
get...
not even a question.
But if you want to get good, you have to train the gi.
Aye.
The gi gets you good fast. So it does. That's the I think.
It's more enjoyable of output.
When he cut that out. Orla boy, apart from family and friends, what is the thing you miss most about living away from Strabane?
Just hang all the boys. Do you know what I mean? Just run into all the mad cunts running around. And do you know what I mean? And here's what I mean. I've just got such good friends that are just, and especially in America. America is very, very fickle people. So as people turn into, it's kind of the way I see it is kind of here. It's like, what have you done for me this month? In America, it's what have you done for me today?
Right.
So if you haven't done nothing for them today, they're telling you out. As we're here, it's like as long as you do something once a month for someone, they'll have your back.
And they're all Irish. Is that not where you doing about it?
Is
Americans. Just,
what you mean?
Like, you know the way they're all part Irish?
Oh fucking hell! Everyone you meet,
Yeah.
to it is. You'd be like, not nobody look at me, and be like, no.
I'm black. Surname's Murphy. I'm a Murphy.
Here's a good one. Niall Blee, as a young man from Strabane, if you hadn't followed your career in Emmerdale, where do you think the path of life would have taken you? What else would you be doing?
Don't know. I think I don't think I'm all tapped up to be normal. Do you know what I mean? I get frustrated.
But would have been sports? Would have been?
No, I wasn't.
You were
I was
hunting,
hunting, fishing.
and
So it is, and anything I did like that, I just got like. I was unreal at making flies and all.
I was obsessed.
I was obsessed with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So no matter what it was, I would have been high level at it. You know what I mean? I don't think I was never going to do what normal people do. It was just never was set out for me. Do you know
Great
what I mean?
answer. James, Shane Coyle, James, what are your go-to resources for keeping a positive mindset and staying hungry?
Just to remind you why you do it, and it's just because I love it.
Digging deep,
Just digging deep. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of the way I always see it, it's like when things go wrong or they're not right or things are hard or you're not feeling that is kind of, well, if I'm the only reason why you feel like that is because you're kind of afraid of losing something. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Is I haven't got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Ever. Do you know what I mean? I was kind
You're already a winner, man.
Aye, exactly. So I've got nothing to lose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I'm good. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so when I go out there, it's kind of, I'm doing a display. Do you know what I mean? I'm going out here to survive, fucking
Showcase what you can do.
Showcase what I do and have that, I'm the man.
But see, when someone says grinding, like, it only applies to fighting, I think, because, like, I don't think footballers grind or tennis players, but see, when you're in the gym and it's jiu-jitsu and it's sparring, like,
Wrestlers.
fucking wrestlers are fucking grinding.
Wrestlers
Do you
are
do much
grinding.
wrestling? You do wrestling?
All the time. All the
fucking
time.
grinding it.
All the time. So it's most every day. So it's, well, not now many,
Is that the
but
hardest one?
It's definitely, but since I moved to America, and I'm glad that I did it, that it's like it's changed my game. So it
Hey,
has,
because they did it from when? School?
Oh, school. Do you know what I mean? So when you come in, there's people that they're training 2 weeks MMA, and they're absolutely stone cold useless jiu-jitsu and striking, but they'll lift you and slam you.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? They'll pin you down and
It's
stuff.
just come
so
second nature.
just come second nature. So what I do when I went there is kind of like I want to pin people down and strangle the life out of them. Do you know what I mean? That's my game. So when I went there, that's all I've been doing.
Aye.
And it's changed up my whole jiu-jitsu game now. Just getting on top of people and just
You've been
punch
up
them
an
in the
animal
head.
now, then. Class.
So it is, and
Class.
it gave me that confidence as well. Do you know what I mean? So
Because it was all Khabib, wasn't it? His wrestling. It was just, you were like,
Through the
fucking
roof.
hell. Fights
Different.
bears.
So I run
A couple of controversial ones here. Tony Davison, is James Krause guilty?
Nah, James Christ, that's fucking stone mad. So it is
That is a mad situation.
yeah,
Like,
I'd say they're trying to pin a fall guy or something. I'm not too sure of the ins and outs of the details, but nah, James Christ he's a true sportsman. True, like I've never ever seen someone that they devote so much to like athletes.
do you know what? It's a pity the man that built up his gym to such a high thing and then had to step away from it, like, because
It's trying to make an example. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure what that reason is, or I don't know if even him, he doesn't even know what the reason is, and no one's really contacted him. They're just kind of user banned this for fucking what he said in Errol Hawani or some shit, and then now they're just kind of.
you're still friends? He's
Oh,
still in Kansas?
Oh, he's still in Kansas, and he's speaking today and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Cross is a good man, so he is.
I don't know who this is. Dre Miley MMA. Why won't he accept my call-out?
That's why. Where's it
Because
from?
I'm on the big massive podcast.
Is he from Gallagher?
I don't know. I had a look through his profile. I don't know him. Like he seems to be a fighter. I don't know. But I was saying to you, I was listening to you on another podcast, and you were like, people are calling you out, going, sign the fucking contract. You're like, I never
What
got it.
contract?
I never got it.
WWE.
I don't know who you are. Why? What are you?
It is, and I guarantee they've never even read a contract before. Do you know what I mean? They don't even know what one looks like. These people that say that. And they,
6 and 2, and no, just to getting on it.
Right, last couple here before we wrap her up. Oh, my phone died.
You were picking your ass during one of them questions too, and I think we got a cut in the camera.
Yeah, I've
so
got a fucking itchy hood. Like,
do you know what I mean? Do you know, not a good. It was a good question. You got fucking deep. The conversation
You
was
went
going
deep
down.
on it, not the
Fucking
question, just your finger.
And on that note, we'll leave it, lads. James, thank you for coming on. Hey,
appreciate it.
when anytime you're back,
You
if
know
you
what,
want to come
James?
down,
That
please,
was
like.
absolutely unreal. I could fucking listen to you talk all fucking evening, I swear to God.
Deadly, so it was good to be on. So it was,
Man, so positive about
Brilliant.
mindset, and I hope people take something away from it, because it was definitely a lot of people are inspired by it. Like what I was talking about, but I know a few people that have started. I hope listening to you gives inspire a few more people.
The young people in Ireland, listen to
And do you know what? The good thing about starting with SBG Strabane is you're about, like,
I'm there all the time. So
Yeah.
especially now, I'm back to teaching 3 days a week.
if
down
you
there.
want to have like high elite level fucking teaching, you will be around.
and even when you are healthy and you become world champion, you'll still be back.
Do you know what I mean? Always
So
back.
you have it.
Always
Get,
brings it
get
up.
on
back,
it.
always
Utilize it, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking utilize it. James, thank you, my
Appreciate it.
man.
Thanks
Thank
very
you very
much.
much.
Good to be on.
Up the hooch.
Cheers, boys.